Hi all, I'm here at Make Haven to show you how to make a mask at home. So this is a style of mask that can get used around the community at soup kitchens, grocery stores, at shelters where people really need them badly. So you're going to start with a piece of cloth, preferably cotton, and even though this isn't the best thing possible, it'll actually capture a pretty significant proportion of the droplets in the air, so it is valuable. You don't want something polyester, you do want something made out of at least 75% cotton. Preferably a light color, so if it gets stained, people can see that. So you're gonna take the material and cut a 9-inch by 10-inch rectangle, and that's gonna be the right size for an adult. So first you're gonna take what's gonna be the top and the bottom, and fold it over, and fold it over. So now that edge is tucked in the inside so it won't be exposed. Gonna put it right in here, and you can do all of this by hand. It's just gonna be easier and faster with a machine. So and I'm not a professional sewer by any stretch of the imagination, so please forgive me if I make or say anything incorrect. So we're gonna have a straight stitch here, and I'm gonna start just by setting the thread and going reverse a little bit just to lock it in place, and then all the way down this length. And back. And now I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom. After snipping this little thread. And I'm just going to snip it really close to the fabric so that I don't have tons of tassels coming off. And right now we're looking at the back of the mask. We're going to flip it over at the end to do the pleats on the front. Here's the bottom edge. It's important, we're going to put a little metal tab in here when we're after this step, but you don't want to do that before because you don't want to hit that piece of metal with the needle of the sewing machine. That would end badly. Forwards, backwards. And backwards. And then we're going to lift the foot up, pull this out of the way. Again, snip off the little tails. And I'm going to grab a little piece of metal. You can use lots of different kinds of metal, like a twist tie for a trash bag, for example, could be used. And you just want to put this here because this helps form the bridge of the nose and makes a better seal. And then just slide it in there. All right. And then what we're going to do is the same thing on the sides. I'm going to use elastic. If you don't have elastic, so that's what, this one just has strings on it, but we're going to make one with elastic. If you don't have it, what you can do is just use strings like this one. Just make about 10-inch strings, and that will be enough. This is the same idea. So I'm going to make these about 6.5 inches long. So this little guy, 6.5, right about there. And we want 2 of them, 1 for each ear. Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna put these in the corner, so the same idea, just folding over twice. And we'll cut a little extra tassels off at the end. And sometimes it helps if you just sort of run your finger over it, just to help hold it down. And you know, I'm actually gonna put this back in here just so I can fold this in. And it takes a little practice to get used to holding everything in place so it doesn't come apart, and I'm sure a better sewer would have good techniques for how to do that more efficiently, but I'm just going to drop the foot down and go forwards and backwards again to lock that elastic in place. Forwards, backwards, and right down. And then I'm going to take the elastic from the top, and it's going to be, I'm going to lower the needle so I can lift the foot up and slide this little guy right in there. Drop the foot back down, and just like that, and ta-da. And what I'm doing is I'm pulling, using the hand wheel, the needle until it comes just to the peak, and then past that, so that the bobbin disengages, just so I don't need to be messing with the hand wheel each time. So that, And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. There are a lot of other designs out there, and I've just found this one to be pretty quick. The others have pockets, which is great for the hospital, but we don't readily have filter material available to put in that pocket, so I'm not doing a design with the pocket. Right, drop that down, forwards, backwards. And slide this in there. Okay. Don't get your fingers, obviously. Now is not a good time to go to the emergency room. Oopsie daisies. Excuse me. Okay, snip you off. And now for the last step, we're just gonna put pleats on the front. So this is the top, because you can feel the metal band in there. And what it's gonna look like is just like this mask. So there's gonna be 3 pleats on each side. And this is, takes just a little practice to get used to. You wanna get the elastic out of the way so you don't hit the elastic. Get these little threads to the back. All right, so then I'm gonna make one pleat first, and I'm just gonna make these pleats one at a time. You could also do all 3 and then iron it to hold it in place. And I just like to do a zigzag pattern here. I don't know if that actually makes it any better stretch here, but it's kind of whatever. And then forwards, and then another pleat. And the last pleat. All the way down, and then the reverse again. We'll do that on the other side, and we'll be good to go, and on to the next one. And then when we're done, we're gonna throw these in the wash and dryer to make sure they're clean for the person who's using them. So this is gonna go to the inside. Just trying to get these little guys out of the way. Right. Forwards, backwards. I'm just getting that pleat under there so I can get the next one ready. Boom. And just enough to hold it, so now I can get the last one. Just don't want the pleats to overlap too much because it might be too hard for the sewing machine to chew through. All right, reverse. And then the last step is just to snip off all the little tassels. Just do that quickly. And again, if you don't have elastic, it's totally fine to do it the other way. That's the one I'm wearing right now, and it's totally fine. You just need to be a little dexterous when it comes to tying the slip knots behind your head. So you can do different sizes for different people. For a child, you might want to make a little smaller. But in general, I think this works pretty well. If you want to make it look pretty, you can just go like that, and then we'll throw it in the sewing machine or the washing machine, and it'll be great. Thanks for watching. Hope this was useful.